Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame victory podcast. I'm Jay Zawaski here with Greg Boysen. Steven's with us tonight. Mario's going to join us from the United Center in a little bit. The Hawks are victorious, 7-4 winners over the Arizona Coyotes. This is a game the Hawks trailed 2-0, and it looked bad, but a 4-goal second period. In that second period, the Hawks had 22 shots on goal, ended the game with 41. A hat trick for Colin Blackwell, 2 goals and an assist for Connor Bedard, 4 assists for Seth Jones. That was about as much fun of a game as we've had all year.
Yeah, that was fun. A lot of fun. I think it was the Landon Slaggard bump. You know, how could you not be excited as a locker room when
I got my Notre Dame shirt on underneath.
When
I willed it to existence.
I love they did this Tuesday night too. Some of our listeners are watching us and PHNX at the same time. I'm wondering if
do not troll. I mean, a little.
Don't have some fun with them, but don't.
Yeah, don't be dicks.
Yeah. There's going to be a cameo from yours truly on that post-game show.
Ooh.
Doing my take on real Chicago pizza.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Craig Morgan is going to educate the Arizona fans on what real Chicago pizza is. And I did a little video for him. So it might be weird if you're watching both. You're going to see me on both shows at the same time.
Greg in stereo. An amazing feature.
It's your lucky day.
Hey, we got a lot of people in here, and we appreciate it. Make sure you do us a favor. Smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Podcast listeners, we love you too. We adore you. Please make sure you're subscribed and following and all those great things. And leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That would be great. So let's just recap this game here. Clayton Keller gets the Coyotes on the board 6:09 in. Then scores 11 seconds into the second, and it's like, oh, God, it's going to be one of these games where everything goes wrong. And then from there, Bedard, Blackwell, Bedard, then Gunther, Tyler Johnson, Blackwell, Schmaltz, Donato, Blackwell. It was a great, exciting game, and let's start with number 98, shall we? The last 2 games, he has been an absolute man-possessed.
He's hungry. Like, he's had enough of this.
Yes.
Like, why is anybody even talking about any other rookie from the Calder? It's my freaking award.
Right.
Get off my jock. It ain't happening. 29 shot attempts this weekend.
Yeah.
16 last
29
night.
shot attempts in 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours. Like, it's crazy. He had 16 last night in Washington, 13 more today. I just want to, like, I know we're talking about Bedard, but I just want to give a shout out to the entire team.
Yeah.
For you played on the road last night. It wasn't a great result.
No.
You know, the first 15 minutes of the game were awful. The last 45 were okay. You fly back. You lose an hour. You start today's game an hour earlier, so technically 2 hours earlier than yesterday. You fall behind 2-0, and then you kick the crap out of the Coyotes.
Yeah, they had every excuse to pack it in after that 2-0 deficit.
So hats off from top to bottom. They didn't pack it in. I thought the Keller goal was the end of the day, but Connor Bedard, man, I mean, that first goal, he's just behind the net and says, well, let's see if I can bank it off this pudwhack defenseman standing in my way. And he did. Like, that's the creativity. And then that second goal on the 5-on-3 was the pure skill.
Yeah.
Just, I'm going to break your ankles. I'm going to get open. Oh, Connor Ingram? Yeah. You might be able to shut out the mighty Detroit Red Wings, but you're not stopping this shot.
Well, remember last night what Luke Richardson said about Bedard, saying that we want him playing that way. We want him taking shots. We want him not waiting for the perfect thing, because then defenses have to respect that. This is 2 nights in a row where we've seen Connor Bedard embarrass defensemen.
Yeah.
Or defenders. Last night it was 2 Washington Capitals consecutively where he dangled them out of their shoes. He also broke an ankle last night on somebody else later in the game. And then today on that second goal, the little toe drag away from the Brown poke check and you knew he wasn't going to miss that shot. He's starting to figure out how to be effective every night. And even if the points aren't coming for him, like last night, he didn't have a point, but he had 16 shot attempts. That is being a factor. And you put games like that together, back to back to back to back. At the end of a week, you play 3 games, you're going to have 6 or 7 points because that's the kind of talent he's got.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a different Connor Bedard since he was returned.
Absolutely.
From that injury.
Yes.
One where, like, for the first few games, first few weeks, I don't want to say timid, but more mindful of trying to get his teammates involved. And now he's like, fuck it, I'm taking over this game.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm the only one here that can.
Well, I think there was a part of him, and look, I think Connor definitely falls under the category of like old school hockey guy. He understands the hierarchy. He's not going to come in there, waving his wiener at people like on the first day, like saying, I'm the best here. You all know it. Get out of my way. He had to play the game a little bit, right? He had to, I know it was a weird analogy, but you know what I'm saying? He had to play the game a little bit. And, I'm just happy to be here. I got to make sure I make the team. And in his mind, he's given a wank mechanic, right? Like, he knows he's the best player on his team, right. And now he's not afraid to show it. And when we have Nick Foligno in here Thursday, which we will, Thursday at 2:30, Nick Foligno will be in here. I want to ask him about that. Like, did someone say to him, hey, it's okay for you to take over?
Connor Bedard.
Be yourself, man.
We need you to do that.
Yes. Like, show these other 31 teams
selfish.
Who you are.
Go eat.
Yeah.
Go feed. Like, yeah, it's been great to see. Like, he's as good as advertised and becoming better than advertised with each passing game.
Yeah.
And he's only scratching the surface of what he can do.
Oh,
because
he
offensively,
5 goals a day.
Offensively, he's going to get better when he has more talent around him. He's going to improve defensively. You know that. Like, his defensive play has been a little, the last few games, his plus minus isn't great. We saw on that second Keller goal, it started with Korchinski coming up the ice along the boards for whatever godly unknown reason, which caused Seth Jones to then go take the spot he vacated. Bedard should have been there to cover the middle of the ice, but he wasn't.
He's caught behind a little bit.
Keller was just...
and it didn't look like... Sorry to interrupt you. It didn't look like a lazy thing from Bedard. It looked like he just got caught up and he read it wrong.
Right. So, I mean, it's a mistake.
Right.
It wasn't a lack of... But those are the type of things that he's going... I mean, the play starts when Korchinski decides to go up the boards.
Yeah.
That's when it was like, uh-oh. Because then Jones has to move over, and with Clayton Keller... If you're a half a step too late, he's gone, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and you had we'll talk about it with your prize picks, Reed, but he was one of your wagers today, and does Arizona realize that he's their best player and should probably be on the ice for a while?
Whoever their weird coach is should be fired.
Torriamos, whatever it is.
Yeah, more like it's French for I don't know what I'm doing behind this bench.
He played 17:01.
Yeah, I needed him to play at least 2 more minutes.
I mean, in 17:01, he had two goals, 4 shots, and 6 shot attempts. You might want to put that guy on the ice.
He had 2 goals in the first 20 minutes and 11 seconds of this game and played like 9 more minutes.
Very weird.
And you're losing the whole game. But
right.
Like, whatever. I mean, when you're down 2 in the third period, I'm not sure how you still trying to keep your lines balanced. You're still trying to roll 4 lines when you're chasing 2 in the third period.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Apparently, the PHNX fans are having a meltdown because Bedard scored.
Well, get used to it, kids. It's going to be a long 16, 17 years for you.
Listen.
Hey, did Logan Cooley even play tonight?
He actually, I was just looking at that. He had 3 shots and 5 shot attempts.
Oh, wow. Great.
But
good for him.
Listen, if you're in there and you're watching PHNX, don't be a troll.
Yeah.
Act like you've been there. Hand the referee the ball and walk away. Hey, good game. Really entertaining. You guys got a bright future. That's going to piss them off more than talking smack.
Yeah, just say,
if they're mad and you're not, that's the worst.
Just say, hey, maybe one day Logan Cooley can have a game like that. If he tries really hard.
Best prospect in the world.
And he eats his vitamins and drinks his milk and says his prayers, brother, maybe he'll have a game like that once.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. He's a really good player. I like Logan Cooley a lot. And I don't want this to become a CHGO versus PHNX thing, but don't think we forgot about their reaction when the Hawks won the draft lottery.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
That is firmly planted right in my cerebral cortex.
I mean, hey, as much as I enjoy that crew, Craig and Leah and Petey, they're all awesome people. I love that they're our colleagues. But I'm not going to feel bad when they feel pain because of Connor Bedard. It actually makes me feel good.
No, it's just, man. And you saw late in the game, Blackwell had the opportunity to set up Bedard for the hat trick, and it was the two of them on a 2-on-1. You knew Blackwell was passing, and he made a nice pass, but Bedard healed it a little bit because it was kind of fluttering. The ice, by the way, bad. You pointed out 5 concerts this week.
Yeah.
Luke Bryan had 3 and the Eagles had 2.
So it's not. Yeah, the ice was bad. Guys were falling, pucks were bouncing. So yeah, it was bad. But both teams had to play on the bad ice. So yeah,
it seemed to get better as the game went on. But early on, we had talked to Foligno too. he had a rough go early on in this game.
He didn't have a great game.
Yeah,
but that's all right. You can if you have a bad game and a 7-4 loss, nobody cares. Or a 7-4 win, nobody cares. See, I'm just so used to saying loss.
Yeah. But it's just, we're not finally, he's been good all year, but you're starting to see like the full package of Bedard, and you could see, he had those wild moments. He had the Michigan goal. He had like those flashes, but now we're seeing entire games where it is undeniable.
Yeah, he's dangerous every shift.
Yeah.
As long as they have the puck. He does have his 4 or 5 shifts a game where he's hemmed in the defensive zone the entire time. But that will change over time. It was just a tremendous game from Connor Bedard. And, I mean, we're talking about Connor Bedard, and he earns it. But Colin Blackwell had an effing hat trick tonight.
He did.
That's amazing. And that's a guy that is easy to cheer for. That's a guy that, we've good-naturedly ribbed him plenty of times over the last 2 seasons, but we've never questioned his effort. We've never questioned his desire to make plays. It's just his ability to make plays sometimes it comes up a little short. But this is a guy that battled so hard to get back on the ice, and he was terrific today. And listen, the 2 guys they didn't trade have been very good since the trade deadline. Almost as if like
monkey off the back.
A giant like worry was removed from their brains, and they can just relax and play hockey now.
Yeah, and
funny how that works.
I love Tyler Johnson's reaction because that pass,
that was
to the no look pass across the ice on the tape to Tyler Johnson, who scores a 1-timer. Tyler Johnson just gets this like. That just points at Bedard like I can't even celebrate. I had very little to do with this. Thank you for the.
That was the type.
Goal.
That was the type of play we saw Bedard make in World Juniors.
Yeah,
where it's just like everybody's focused on him. He skates to his right, and then knows that there's going to be a seam because everybody's focusing on him, and just knows the guy is going to be there. And on the World Juniors team, he had very little doubt if he just threw it somewhere, somebody was going to score. On this team,
a little different.
Give or take. But Tyler Johnson, remember early in the season, Tyler Johnson wasn't waiting, didn't know that puck was going to come. It was a play very similar.
A lot, yeah.
Johnson had one of those plays, but now he learned his lesson. Just keep my stick on the ice. It's going to get here.
I'm being told in my ear we have Connor Bedard available post-game.
That is correct.
Let's fire it up, control room, if we can. Thank you.
It's kind of spark things sometimes, and kind of got 8 games without a goal. You feel like that bounce on the first one maybe kind of got things going for you.
Yeah, I knew I needed a miracle to put one in, so that was nice. But it doesn't matter obviously how you get them. It's about getting them. So that was nice to see that one go in. I don't know how or who it went off of, but yeah, it was nice.
What happened on that 2-on-1? Did it just fall off your sticks?
I don't know. If it was any good, I'd put it in, but unfortunately it slid off. But it was a nice play by Blackie, and working out with him, being able to get the third.
Were you thinking or hoping for him?
It's kind of a common, obvious answer, but yes. You always want to score goals, and it's something, I don't know, you're not playing thinking about it, but you always want to score, and
Had it been weighing on you the past few games that you had so many chances and hadn't had one going lately?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, as an offensive guy, I want to produce, and I think I probably had better games in this one where it wasn't going in like you said, but it's nice to get a couple tonight for sure.
The fans didn't want you to leave in that final minute. Did you hear them booing?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was at me or someone else, but no, I thought that was pretty funny, and it was obviously a great atmosphere tonight, so it was fun to be a part of.
What you see on that, or your second goal with that toe drag release, is that just you be patient, waiting for that to open?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I honestly wanted to pass the whole time, and then I thought it was kind of more of a force to throw it across to one of them. So decided to shoot, and fortunately it went in.
Still humbled in the media, which is good. Oh, shucks. It just went in.
Yeah, I got lucky.
I just happened to get lucky, and, it's been that way for my entire life. Just luck. Nothing going on. Let's get some super chats knocked out before we take our first break of the show. $2 from our friend Windy City Hockey, who says that toe drag release by Bedsy on the power play goal. That's all you need to say. We know what you're talking about. That was absolutely sick. 2 days in a row where he's just toe dragging defenders all over the ice. Got our $1 super chat from our buddy Young Dangle God, who says Bedsy would have had the Hattie if we'd signed Kaner to feed him apples. Just saying. Too much hockey lingo in there, Young Dangle God. You got to give us another $1.
Yeah, bro.
You didn't call it a Gino or a Tilly or anything like that, but yeah, we need another $1 for all that.
We remember
the douchey hockey lingo.
Let's remember the hockey lingo later, because they do this game where they do the 3 cards and someone has to guess the hockey lingo.
Yeah,
and one of them was Rocket. And I was like, careful. And he's like, slap shot. They're like, yeah, you're right. I'm like,
nope,
well, not on Letterkenny.
Correct.
Not on Letterkenny. Rocket means something completely different.
I know all the hockey lingo because I watch Letterkenny and Shoresy. I don't use the lingo, but I'm old. It's not for me. And a $5 super chat from Alan K. Do we think it's better for next season to play great and get wins down the stretch, or to tank? I think this might be a polarizing topic. I actually like that topic. I think at this point, there's a couple things. I do somewhat believe in karma. And I think part of the reason the Hawks got blessed with Bedard last year is because there's the hockey gods are like, okay, you at least tried.
They tried down the stretch, yeah.
Yeah, you at least tried to win
Sharks
games.
are obviously not trying.
I think losing on purpose, which is no hockey team is, the players are never doing that.
No.
But
the rosters are built to ensure that they try really hard and lose.
I'll tell you this, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I was very concerned about the impact of loss after loss after loss after moral victory after moral victory after moral victory. It's good to see them get some wins here down the road. If you finish strong, let's say they win 6 of their last 10. You go into the offseason feeling better about things.
Because when you look at this roster, most of these guys are going to be back next year. So it's a good thing going into training camp knowing that, hey, we can win together. It's not like we could do this.
Right.
And
moral victories don't have that effect.
Right.
Hey, we played them close. No, F that.
Right.
We beat them.
Exactly.
That's different.
There's a difference from playing a good team close to beating them on a somewhat regular basis. So, we like this year, the expectation this year was never the number 1 overall pick.
No.
So if they don't get it, doesn't bother me. Last year it was all about the number 1 overall pick.
I'd be happy if they did.
And don't worry, I won't be mad at it. But if they don't get it because they play and win a few games down the stretch, for the long-term success of this team, it's not the end of the world.
Also, if you get number 2, package some of those first and trade up to 1.
I don't think you need to.
Just to infuriate people even more.
Yeah, I don't think you need to.
By the way, when Bedard
the Sharks didn't trade away everybody that had talent to draft number 2.
When Bedard was talking, I did go check in on PHNX, and it is... I can't hear what the hosts are saying, but the chat is off the rails.
Well,
because they're all very concerned about Kyle Beach.
Right.
It's all about Kyle Beach and not the fact that they didn't
lost
get
like
Bedard.
16 in their last 18 games, but only be mad when you lose to the Blackhawks.
Right. Yeah.
And Connor Bedard, the best young player in the game.
The world's greatest prospect. All right, let's take our first break. And we've been talking a lot about Coors Light because it is our favorite beer. They're our new partners here. We love it. We've talked about hey, it helps you get through a really crappy Blackhawks loss. That's been the theme of the comments on Coors Light lately. But
They
guess
taste
what?
even better after a win.
It is somehow. It is colder and more refreshing.
Mountains are bluer.
They really are. The mountains are bluer after a win, and Coors Light, it is my go-to beer. I love it, man. Anytime I walk into a party and there's a cooler full of silver bullets, I am in. I love the Coors Light. It's drinkable. It's cold. It's refreshing. I can drink a bunch of them and not feel terrible. I love Coors Light. It is my go-to beer when it's time to chill out, when it's time to celebrate, when it's time to take the edge off. Whatever I'm looking for, I get it from Coors Light. It's perfect cold refreshment to chill you out, especially during and after a Hawks game. You can also crack one open, embrace that chill, and when you need to chill most, I don't know. When do you need to chill most? I think like after a late night game and you're trying to fall asleep because you've got all the energy and you had to drive home. That's sometimes get home, crack one of these, and it helps me put the night behind me and fall asleep and go to bed. And it's really beautiful. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When it's time to chill, open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies, not the baseball team. When it's time to chill, Coors Light is the beer we reach for. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door right now with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Again, CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
And if you are a big fan of daily fantasy sports, then I recommend this amazing app, Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 players' stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. It is super easy. I have been loving Prize Picks ever since they came on board. I have had more fun, and more importantly, I have won more money on this app than any other
I love Prize Picks
wagering app out there. I almost won 33 times my money today. 39 times out of my money I almost won today. I'm going to have to settle for 4.5 times my money because of the Coyotes coach. Here are my entries for today. I had more than 1.5 points for Kirill Kaprizov. Hit it. More than 1.5 points for Connor Bedard. Hit it.
Nice.
More than 2.5 shots on goal for Seth Jones. He hit it. More than 23.25 ice time for Roman Josi. He hit that. More than half a hit for Nazem Kadri. He hit that. More than 19 minutes for time on ice for Clayton Keller. You suck. You suck, Coyotes coach. I'm not even going to use your name because it's not worth it because you're not going to be in the NHL much longer for crap like that. So instead of winning $292, I have to settle for $33.
Oh,
but that's still great. I mean,
I
listen,
won 80 today.
Nicely done.
I had Tavo over 0.5 point, Bedard over 0.5 point, Seth Jones over 2.5 shots on goal. Boom.
It's super easy. You literally can make your entries anywhere from 2 to 6 players. The more you make in your entry and the more you hit, the more you win. It's super easy. You can make a 6-player entry in literally 30 seconds. It takes no time. So go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use the promo code CHGO for a first match deposit up to $100. So if you throw in $100 in your account, Prize Picks is going to give you another $100 to make more entries with. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO using the code CHGO. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Yep. And what I like about it real quick is that it rewards you for knowing the sport. It's not just like picking numbers or like hoping and crossing your fingers.
Right.
Like if you watch a lot of hockey, you know how to play Prize Picks, and it rewards you for knowing the game.
And it doesn't need
well.
Another fun aspect, it doesn't have to be all hockey. You can bet more or less on 3 hockey players, or pick more or less on 3 hockey players, and pick more or less on 3 NBA players, or 2 baseball players, or when football season starts. You can do NFL, NBA, and NHL all in the same entry. It's a lot of fun.
Let's talk about Seth Jones a little bit while we wait here for Mario. And I know we have Seth Jones postgame too. We'll get to that in a second here. But what was the game where he was just awful? What was that game?
The Colorado game.
The Colorado game. Really, really bad. But that game has been surrounded by several really
And the Columbus,
excellent.
Actually, it might have been the Columbus game. I'm thinking it was a home game.
It was a home game. It was Columbus.
It was the
You're right.
Columbus game.
Yes, it was.
Columbus game was bad.
Yeah, really bad in that game, and I think he would admit that too. And we did as soon when the game was over. But that game has been surrounded by really solid performances where he is playing, 25 minutes, 27 minutes a night. He is leading the team on shots on goal and shot attempts, just playing really solid. And today, a career high 4 assists. Something that we've been saying a lot about Alex Vlasic this season. I'm seeing a lot of it from Jones, especially over the last handful of games. Just steady. Kind of a calming presence. Obviously, defensively, he's the best puck handler of the group when under pressure. You pointed out all the time how good he is at keeping the puck in the zone, keeping power plays alive when the other team's trying to clear. But I think he's kind of, although he is doing a ton, he has sort of gotten away from trying to do it all.
And that's what Luke said after that bad game. Like, if it was Colorado or it was the game that he served up that goal in the first.
I think it was
Columbus. Yeah, it was the Columbus game. Luke said that after that game. Like, he looks like a guy trying to do everything all at once.
Yeah, 33 seconds in the game.
And he has to draw back. He said back to the drawing board. He even said we may have to take a little away from him. But whatever, since that game, he's been really good, and he's really contributing offensively. And I know that's why people give him a hard time, because he hasn't produced those big offensive numbers that a guy making his money should.
Sure.
So, as this team gets better, he'll likely see an uptick in those numbers too. Because, as I said when I tweeted out last night that Darren Radish had 5 assists last night for Tampa Bay, and Taylor Radish had 6 all seasons. One of the replies from our friend Fork from the old Hockey Night crew said, "Well, you can't get assists when no one on your team can score."
That's a good point.
So yes, but yeah, Jones was great tonight. He's been really good since that Blue Jackets game. Just, as you said, steady, confident.
Yep.
That's when Seth Jones is playing his best. We saw that at the end of last year, and that's what we're seeing for these last handful of games.
Well, he was the 3rd star of the game today with 4 assists. Your number 2 star, Connor Bedard, 2 goals and 1 assist, and Colin Blackwell with 3 goals. So we want to give you our 4-star nominees. I see a lot of people have voted already. Thank you for that. Ryan Donato with a goal, an assist, +1, 4 shots and 5 shot attempts. Alex Vlasic, an assist, +2, 3 shots on goal and 2 block shots. And Jason Dickinson with an assist, +3, 2 shots, 2 hits, 2 block shots, 110 and lost 5 faceoffs. A really solid game for him. But again, just Seth Jones' line, 4 assists, 5 shots, 8 shot attempts, 2 block shots, 23:07 of ice time. That's just a day at the office. I mean, it's 4 assists, fine. But the rest of those numbers are a day at the office for Seth Jones this year. And yeah, the points aren't coming. And I think a lot of that, as we mentioned, is the talent around him. But just wait until, Kevin Korchinski takes that step defensively and maybe becomes a top pair guy. Or Vlasic, we were talking today during the game, I think there's a lot more offense in his game.
Yeah. When there's more offensive talent in the forward core, that's going to open up more space for all the defensemen to be more creative offensively.
And when I was having that thought, I looked it up. Brent Seabrook's career high in points was 49. I could see Vlasic getting to that point. It would have to be with a very loaded team, of course.
Yeah.
But if it's Bedard and Nazar and a healthy Taylor Hall and Oliver Moore and free agent A and free agent B and free agent C and all these guys that are gonna be up here to help Connor Bedard not be the entire offensive show, you can kind of start to see that. And it took Brent Seabrook 7-8 years into his career to get to that number. So I'm not saying that will be the annual expectation, but if he's a 40-ish point guy a year, you're looking at 9-10 goals a year.
Give me 30 to 40 points with that shutdown defense.
Hell yes.
Take it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Anything offensively from Vlasic is gravy, because the expectation is for Kaczynski to develop into an offensive threat. from the blue line. And, Jones, as his team gets better, should do a little more offensive output. So you don't really necessarily need that. Ethan Del Mastro is shown in the AHL that he's got some offensive upside. Wyatt Kaiser can play well offensively too. So that's kind of the good thing too, is you don't really need just one guy to do it. You have some balance there. And if Korchinski develops into that offensive threat that, like, listen, he wasn't drafted 7th overall because, he has really good gap control. Like,
right.
He was taken 7th overall, what he could do on the rush, quarterbacking a power play. And we really haven't seen a lot of that this year, which is not a criticism. Like, I didn't expect to see a lot of that this year.
You see flashes, which we do.
So if he hits that ceiling, Vlasic doesn't need to provide a ton of offense, which I think kind of makes him a little more dangerous because there's no expectations.
Right.
And, if he's on the second pairing as opposed to top pairing, that means he's facing lesser competition throughout the night as well.
That's true. All right, why don't we hear from Seth Jones here post-game, and Mario should be with us here in a little bit.
Season and just how nice to have a day like that.
It was a great team win. We didn't start the way we wanted to. We weren't very physical in the first period. We lost a lot of one-on-one battles, but we came in here, regrouped, and I thought we played a great 40 minutes and 39 minutes, and 39 and a half minutes. Sody made big saves. We had a lot of contributions from everyone. Power play was kicking again.
It was just such Connor's first goal, just one of those goofy shots on a stick, and but how much does that get you guys going?
Players like Connor and the skilled players in the league, they're almost like trying to score from back there. They're trying to bank it in on something, and we've kind of had that motto all season of putting pucks toward the net. We've had a tough time scoring, so I think anytime we're around that crease, even around that trapezoid area, we're all trying to throw it in there, and he's had a couple, I think, this year that have kind of banked in off stuff around the net, so that was big for us to kind of get the momentum.
How much did it help that you just recently played them too, so you kind of knew what you had?
We did. Our pre-scout was very similar. We showed some clips from the last game and what worked and what didn't work, and we didn't execute in the first period, obviously, but I think that was a little bit more of just maybe being tired from travel and things from yesterday's game. And then we got going and we started executing and not turning pucks over the neutral zone and feeding that transition, and that helped us a lot.
What was talked about at the first intermission?
Just harder. Just be harder in the battles. We lost a lot of stick battles, a lot of pucks right inside our blue line. We call them the red zones, and so it really fed them. It was an easy game for them in the first period, and we gave it to them. And I think in the second and third period we were much harder. We started getting a little more physical, getting our nose over the puck, and that helped us.
That toe drag release on Bedard's second goal, is that
5-on-3?
Yeah, the 5-on-3. Is that just patience by him or that natural instinct?
A little bit of both. He knows the defenseman's going to go down on one knee and try to block that shot, so he's great patience, which is probably natural instinct if you ask him as well. He's been in that position a lot, and then when he holds like that, his release it's hard to read as a goalie as well, so he's that close, it's pretty deadly.
For you to get 2 goals last game against them and 4 assists tonight, you've been struggling for the production. Is a little relief to get some.
I need to play these guys more often. It feels nice. I was just trying to shoot the puck a lot more and get pucks toward the paint and be aggressive when I can. It's not easy sometimes, but I think playing with Blassie has been a treat as well. We're both good skaters and we both move the puck up and just trying to do my part.
It's usually the stars at the catchers. What's it like to see a guy like Blackwell get it?
Blackie's been awesome all year. He always brings a great attitude. He's determined. His work ethic is off the charts, and I'm happy for him that workhorse like him can get a hat trick for us.
Especially considering what he had to do to get back into shape.
Yeah, it was a long road. We saw him here all the time, working and grinding. I know he was here all summer, in the off season this past summer, working and trying to get better, and he did. And he's been a big part of really that Dickinson line, especially at home when we match them up against the top lines. They shut down those guys, and they do a phenomenal job of playing that role. And then like Dickie and him, hat trick tonight. They've been scoring a lot this year, creating offensively as well.
There is Seth Jones, and as he was talking, we were chatting that anytime Callan Blackwell is mentioned, teammates smile. They love the guy, man. And I think there's something to be said for, we've talked about how a lot of the guys on this team are a dime a dozen and they're replaceable. And I think sometimes we get caught in the trap of looking at stats and looking at graphs and looking at things, but personality matters and attitude matters. And you could basically chalk up when the Hawks, even though the wins didn't necessarily come when Blackwell came back, the consistency of performance came back when he came back. That most games that he's been part of, they've been competitive, they've played hard. There haven't been a lot of those games where you felt like, what the hell was that at the end of it?
Yeah, only a couple. Yeah, I mean, when they noticed that his first game back, they beat the Avalanche.
Yeah.
And we had Nick Foligno in studio right after that, and he said that was the Blackie effect. That's what he does to this team. He gets everybody going. He's constantly talking. He's constantly, coaching up his Luke Richardson has said he yells to the coaches to give him some stats, or he yells stats to the coaches saying
this
"Hey,
guy sucks at face-offs,"
or this guy only wins 8% of his face-off against lefties or something like that, like crazy stuff. So, they did he's been such a valuable part of this locker room, and you could tell just when he started skating again, he practiced for 3 weeks before he got to play.
Yeah.
And he talked to us even 2 weeks before he got back in the lineup, and got emotional, started tearing up, talking about not being able to play and how hard he's worked. So he is living proof of guys who he's a grinder. He's never given up. He's been told he's too small. He's not big enough.
Yep.
He can't shoot good enough his whole career, and he's getting rewarded now. And I think he'll be back here next year.
Mario is standing by. We're going to take a quick time out, but before we do, we got to acknowledge our buddy McLovin, who left us a super chat before we jumped on the air. Sorry about that, McLovin. McLovin says, I know I'm going to be dwarfed by a $500 donation, and I'll let you finish, Moser, but Bedard had the best period so far in the second. Felt like World Junior Championships, Connor, with his goals and playmaking. He sure did. And before the break, we're also going to do another like spike in honor of our friends at What Chaos. And I get to say, when we rip off a segment, if we say in honor of, then it's not ripping it off.
Yeah,
right.
It's shouting them out.
Yeah.
We're paying tribute to.
We're paying tribute to our buddies at What Chaos with a like spike. So we're going to count it down from 3. And when I get to 0, you spike the like button. And then we're going to get to Mario on the other side. 3, 2, 1, like spike. Hit that like button for us. Hammer it, elbow drop it, leg smash it, whatever you want to do. Give it a perfect plex. Whatever mood hits you, do it. Get those likes spike for us, and we'll get to Mario right here after Greg tells you about Game Time.
Yes. Game Time. They make buying tickets as easy as it is to hit the like button on our show and give a subscription as well to the YouTube channel. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. And Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, and comedy events near you or even far away from you. Say you're going on a trip and you want to go see some other teams play hockey in another city. You can buy your tickets with Game Time with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork and, most importantly, the stress out of buying tickets. You want to see the Blackhawks? They're home all week. Tuesday night, Anaheim Ducks. They got a fun and exciting team.
Yep.
Number 2 overall pick, Leo Carlson. $23 gets you in the door. Friday night, the LA Kings. It's a Friday. Those are a little more expensive, $48. That's still pretty good for an NHL
great
game.
price, though.
Next Sunday, another one of these great 5 o'clock starts. St. Patrick's Day against the Sharks, the Celebrini Bowl. $32 to walk in the door. Or how about next Tuesday?
Go see the team Tomas Hertl used to play for.
Yes. Next Tuesday, the Calgary Flames, $20. Come see the Flames. And you can wave to us down at the 100 level because that's the night of our
Pinkies up.
takeover.
Coors Lights.
Yes.
We're
It's
in
the night of our
100 level.
takeover. If you missed out
I'm wearing a monocle.
on the takeover tickets, I'm going to wear tails. If you missed out on our takeover tickets, you could still go to that game for $20.
$20.
Yeah. So Game Time, they take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CHGO CHGO for $20 off. That was me spelling out CHGO,
Good job.
just in case you didn't know. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
And with all the money you save on tickets to the next Hawks game or whatever event you're going to, update your flooring with Empire today, where you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs. That's better than the wrong product for your needs. Quick and professional installation. That's better than slow and unprofessional installation. And a low price guarantee, better than a high price guarantee.
Absolutely.
Empire today is the best place to get new flooring. So of course, they have copycats, other companies trying to be Empire. But guess what? You can't hold a candle to Empire other stores. We know it. You're a fraud. You can't do it, because you know why? Yesterday, the guy who was helping me with floors, he was working in the toilet plunger department. He's not a flooring expert. At Empire, you are getting flooring experts that know what you need, they know what you want, they know what's good, they know what sucks, and they don't even bother with the stuff that sucks because it sucks. And if you're not sure, it's a big decision. It's a big investment. Even when you're going with the low price from Empire today, it's something you buy every 20, 30 years, so you want to make sure you are going to love what you see. Use their virtual floor designer. You snap a picture and you can see exactly what those floors are going to look like in your space. Shopping in a big box store sucks. Don't do it. Go to Empire today. Schedule a free in-home estimate. All listeners can receive a $350 discount when they use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details. I'm going to give the chat, before we get to Mario, a little bit of a pep talk. When a troll enters, ignore the troll.
Don't feed it.
And it will go away. Do not feed the troll. The troll is in here to get exactly what they want. Ignore them. Thank you. All right, Mario's not looking at us, but we're going to go to him anyway. What's up, Mario?
Hey. Nothing. I'm just distracted at the majesty of the boards getting put in over the ice, and just how it's just like a well-oiled machine.
It is cool.
It's
How
always
quickly
cool to watch that.
they do that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Must be another country music concert in town tomorrow, or maybe the
There's
Bulls.
there's
The Bulls are
something.
back, I think.
Thank God.
Probably.
So we didn't get to play Luke, so we're going to ask you to paraphrase a lot of what he had to say, because we've been yapping our gums a lot, and our show's almost over. What stood out from you from Luke today?
I mean, he was pleased with the response in the second period from the team. Obviously, outside of the first 11 seconds of the second period, he was pleased. But I mean, it's the general tone of the game tonight or the response to the game tonight was just, a lot of relief to get the offense going tonight. 7 goals, the most that they've scored in a game this season. You had the efforts of Colin Blackwell, which were praised across the board. Seth Jones, Connor Bedard, they both spoke after the game and spoke the praises of Blackwell and the work that he's put in to get from where he was basically this time last year to now. Richardson had a lot of the same things to say, and it's a lot of good. And in a game where the Blackhawks gave up 4 goals, there has been nothing good coming of those games. Charlie Remiliotis put the stat out there. In games in which they had given up 4 goals or more this season, they were 0-27-2. So this is the first win all year in which they've given up 4 goals. So I mean, you give up 4 goals, you don't want to do that ever. But when you're able to put up 7, it's good feelings. And there's a lot of good to take away from this game, and there's teachable moments. Richardson broke down the Clayton Keller goal. That was the goal 11 seconds into the second period. He said that, defensively, Kevin Korchinski and Seth Jones, they played their mans the way that they were supposed to. They're men. And then Bedard lost Keller on the play. He said that, he was with him defensively in the right spot for most of the play, but then there's a moment where the puck kind of hesitates along the boards, and so did Bedard, whereas Keller kept his feet moving and took a chance on the puck going in his direction rather than going back the other way. And he said, if the puck goes the other way, Bedard's sprung for a breakaway, but it's just one of those pucks that goes 50-50, goes the opposite direction of the Blackhawks' favor, and Keller's in and scores. So it's a teachable moment. It's something that you want to correct, but he said, the guys were able to respond from that, especially, the way Bedard played in the second and third periods. He kind of personally made up for that defensive lapse.
One thing we've not talked about yet in this postgame show is the fact that Landon Slaggert did sign his contract today. 2-year deal, will be with the team on Tuesday for the morning skate. Is there any timeline on when we might see him in the lineup?
Luke made it sound like by the end of the week is a good possibility. He mentioned the San Jose game or the Los Angeles game as potential targets for it. Slagert's gonna have to get here, get in a few practices, a few video sessions first, and then by a couple of days this week he'll get some opportunity to play with the team. He'll be there for Tuesday's morning skate, and then just kind of go from there. And Richardson said, maybe there's an injury, or hopefully not, but maybe there's an injury in which you need to put him in earlier than expected, but hopefully that's not the case. I would say probably the Thursday or Friday game. I would say that sounds like it's a good estimation for when he'll be in the lineup.
Okay. And then I know he mentioned Athanasiou before the game, but we haven't been on since then. Is there a timeline there?
So Athanasiou took the morning skate today, or yesterday rather, not today. Wasn't in the lineup, and then wasn't in the lineup obviously today. He was clear to say that it wasn't anything along the lines of a setback with Athanasiou, just not yet ready for getting back into the game. But I would imagine, he'll have some time off. I'm sure he'll skate Tuesday, and maybe Tuesday he's in. But it sounded like it was just not 100% ready to go. But if this was a different situation, maybe he does go. So they just want to make sure he's fully healed up, ready to go, because it was previously, he'd experienced some setbacks in, recovering from what he was dealing with. So they don't want to push him when he's not fully 100% ready to go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Give him a couple practices. Blackhawks sent one of my favorite emails I love getting from them. The Blackhawks will not hold practice tomorrow, so we have a complete off day tomorrow. There's morning skate Tuesday. I'm sure they'll practice at least Wednesday, maybe Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday morning skate. I mean, you talk to these guys when they make the jump, and yeah, you have to get used to the speed. That's always the biggest thing, but they'll always say, like, once the game starts, hockey's still hockey.
Yeah.
It's still the same sport. Yeah, there's some
intricacies.
That's the word. Mm-hmm. And thank you. We're a team here. And that you have to figure out. But bottom line is, from whistle to whistle, it's still the same game you were playing. So just get him up to speed with what the team expects from him, and then he should be ready to go. And it'll be a nice addition. Slaggert doesn't have a super high ceiling. He's not a savior by any means.
No, we got to temper expectations.
He's not an all-star, but it's new blood, and sometimes you get some fresh players in here that's excited to be here. It kind of gets everybody else going a little bit, and you need those depth role players to build good teams, and he could be one of those guys.
Yep. I think so too, and yeah, we should. There has been a lot of excitement around it. A lot of people, I saw JP Morosi from MLB Network and NHL Network wrote about him yesterday and today. There's a lot of hype around him because he's a really high-quality individual. He was a really good player at Notre Dame, a very captain, right? Like, so he has people that love him. He is not going to be a star player by any means. So I don't want anyone to, if he doesn't come up here and
the key thing is, he knows that.
Yeah, he's going to come here and perform a role of getting in front of the net, screening goalies, playing physically, and maybe adding some offense. But he's just not going to be a top six forward. It's very unlikely he's a top six forward.
No, think of Slaggert as possibly being the next Cup contenders version of Adam Burge.
Yeah.
Maybe with a little more offensive upside. A little
better than that, yeah.
But they play a similar game. Crash the net, play physical.
Like Shaw without the shenanigans.
Maybe somewhere in there. But somewhere in between. Yeah, but like I think he could be more of a Burrish type because he's got a little more size to him. He's tall. He's definitely going to add some weight to him. So that's where I see him. Not an exact mold, but he could fill that role. Fourth line, penalty kill. Score a goal every once in a while. And if you need to bump him up for a game or two, I think he can handle that. But let's get him here. Let's get him in the lineup before we, start telling him exactly what career he's going to have.
Right.
And he is as Ted 808 says, looks like a handsome dude too. Yes, he's a handsome young man.
Sure he is.
For sure.
Alex Wenberg. What? Was that out loud? Well, Mario, do you want to watch me put the helmet on?
I mean, if that's what we got to do next, then yeah, sure. Why
I
not?
think that's what we got to do next. I mean, I won Who's Your Hawk handily.
Yeah, it was quite the easy victory.
Went out on a limb.
I'll give you credit though. To quote somebody else that sits in this chair, credit to you.
Credit to me.
You did predict during the anthem or right after the anthem
2 goals
that Bedard was scoring 2 tonight. You turned to me and said Bedard's getting 2 tonight, calling it now, and you were right.
Thank
For
you.
the first time all season, you were right.
That's correct. So JGWO now has the lead over Mario, right?
Yes, I believe we have 40 combined.
Sure.
wins.
Yeah. I'm sorry to do it to you on Mario Day too, by the way, Mario.
Yeah. No,
All right. Before we let Mario go, how long has this Mario Day been a thing? Is this a new thing? This is the first time I've ever heard of it.
I mean, since March 10th has ever existed.
Since the inception of March 10th.
All right, I guess I just don't pay attention.
Yeah,
Talk to the
I saw it in the
Aztecs,
chat today. I'd never seen that before.
I've never
I
seen
thought
it
it was
before
hilarious
today.
too.
Yeah. Ask the Mayans.
I guess.
Yeah, Mayans. Thank you. I said
Well,
Aztecs.
wouldn't it have been the
idiots.
wouldn't it have been the Romans?
I don't know.
The
I
Roman
put Charlie's helmet
calendar.
on and I
Mario
get
was
dumber.
Italian. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
the first time
no,
I heard of it. So somebody
Yeah.
said it. Stacy said it to me this morning. She goes, "It's Mario Day." What the heck are you talking about? Mario's birthday already passed.
Yeah.
He's like, no, Mario, March 10th, Mario. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like that. I've never heard of that until today.
Yeah.
So congratulations on having your own day.
By the way,
Yeah, it's
speaking
been a
of
nice
the
day.
large hats, I am enraged that it took the Blackhawks one day because
steal
they've
our
got
bit.
Wirtz money and we have not Wirtz money.
They stole our.
That they were able to get the big hat
Yes.
already. We
Yeah.
do it for one day.
Nobody-
Mario wears the big hat and the Hawks order one and they get it overnighted. Absolutely outrageous.
I'm apoplectic about that picture.
We can't come up with anything in this town without somebody
Yeah.
ripping us
Quit
off.
stealing our stuff, Faulkner/Wirtz.
/ Boyle.
Well, that's a given. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what? We're just
I-
we are the innovators. They are the imitators. That is what my
Yeah.
morning jacket said, and
guess so.
we lean
true.
on that slogan. All right, we're gonna let you go because it's Mario Day. Go party. Go celebrate.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right, Mario. Thanks, man. That's Mario Tirabassi from the United Center. All right, how we doing on Who's Your Hawk? We got that already. We got to go to Connor's Corner because I know there's. Do we spoil it? Steven's here, so there's been an update to the. You got to look for a little Easter egg.
There might be a couple updates today.
Oh, a couple. All right, I got to look
Hey,
for one then.
post-game shows are awesome. We got 232 likes.
Yeah, and how many viewers?
330 watching. Right
Make it
now.
make sense.
Yeah, that math don't
We're doing
jive.
another like spike here
If
momentarily.
you want Connor's Corner, you got to give us like 20 more likes here. Let's do a like spike for Connor's Corner.
Yeah.
If you want to hear the music
All right, let's-
and it makes your day.
Let's count it down from 98, 97, 96. Like spike, come on, let's go.
In
Yeah,
the
like
meantime,
button
I'll tell you,
boys.
this is probably
like
the
button.
closest 4-star vote we've ever had.
Really?
It is that close.
We're
It's too
making you
close to
work.
call.
All right, let's keep
We're
the
making
4-star
you work.
going. Let's
All
keep the
right.
4-star going. I see the likes are coming in.
All right.
So let's go into Connor's Corner.
Careful, man. That's worth money.
Sure it is. All right, I'm looking for new stuff. Oh, I see. All right, nice. I like the new additions.
Yes.
So he did clean his room a little bit.
He did. He cleaned
Fi-
up.
Finally picked up those dirty clothes.
Yeah.
Good for that was starting to stink.
Couple years.
Jason Kelsey was about to jump out from the middle of that pile. Okay, so I see the number.
The number on the bed. The
what-
Hot Wheels set.
What is? Oh, is that what that? Okay.
Is
All
the
right.
Capri Sun new?
The Capri Sun is new.
All right.
We got the 98 on the bed.
Yeah, I like the 98 on the bed.
We've got every kid had that carpet.
And that was
in their
Bijan
room.
yesterday who suggested that, by the way. Thank you,
Bijan. Every kid in their growing up had that carpet in their room that had like little race car track on
the
it.
race car carpet. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yep, I had one of those.
What's
and
that on front of the bed there? The little yellow thing. Is
Little
that always,
helicopter?
Has that always been there?
That's been there.
Okay, I just noticed that stuff on the wall yesterday, so like I don't notice things.
You got him to get him a Justin Fields fat head.
Well,
I heard
You get a true teenager's room.
I think there's going to be one on the secondary market here soon.
They should be available soon. By the way, if you're looking for discounted Hawks jerseys, the TJ Maxx in Tinley Park has Alex DeBrincat and Kirby Doc jerseys. So go grab some while they're hot.
You're getting fired. Don't worry.
Yeah, go get those.
Don't worry.
You should get those.
Don't worry, he doesn't listen.
The
You're
race
fine.
car carpet was awesome. That was a great invention. And then
Yes.
it like evolved to like the train table. You could flip the boards over. Like one side was a train, one side was a chalkboard. Man, toys sucked when I was a kid. They're so much better now. Like when I went to Disney, the lightsabers were like movie quality.
Could you kill people with them?
Yeah. If you try hard enough.
Then I'm in.
Yeah, they were sweet.
Get me one of them.
$250 though.
Get me one of them and whack.
If only
whoever-
Prize Picks had existed then.
Yeah.
I think it did, but I just didn't discover it yet. All right. Are we ready to declare the 4-star? Is it close? Should we give it a few more seconds?
I would give it a few more seconds. It is that close.
All right. Get those votes in. Want to remind everybody, Thursday at 2:30, Nick Foligno will be here. And we got to get some super chats in as well. Thomas with a $2 super chat just checked out the PHNX postgame. Dear Lord.
I'm going to listen to that on the way home.
Me too. Windy City Hockey says Hope Slaggert debut versus LA. And we wonder what number he'll wear. That's a good question.
Cannot wear his college number. He
Yeah,
wore
he was
19 at
in
Notre
college.
Dame. That's not happening. I did look back. Last time he took part in a development camp, 2022, he was wearing number 74, but that's a bad number. Nobody wants that number.
No, 74 is horrible.
Right. Maybe it's his
Is
favorite.
36 Ralston?
Maybe, yeah, in Rockford.
I was getting 36 vibes from him. Here's a number that's not been used in a long time for the Hawks. 26.
Jocelyn Lemieux,
Steve Sullivan.
Michael Hanzus,
Is he the last 26?
that I can remember.
He might be the last 26.
Unless there was some like random weird dude that like, what did Andrew Burnett wear?
He was like 37 or something, or 43. Brunette wore something weird. I'm going to predict, I got two, I'll say two. I'm going to say 26 or 34 for Slaggert.
Can't be 34. Mrazek has that.
Oh, yeah, duh. Jesus, I'm an idiot. I was saying Mrazek's 32.
He's not. That's the we're saving that for Alex Stalock's return.
Good point.
I don't know. He should just piss people off and wear 38. Take Brendan Hagel's number.
Take James Black's number.
Yes. 26. I told you there was some weird random people after Hanzus. Austin Wagner wore it last year.
Like 2 games.
Kyle Kuminski wore it in
didn't
20.
his hand have herpes or something? He
like
couldn't
yeah,
play?
he had like it was gross. The latest it was Hanzus, Austin Wagner, Kyle Kuminski. Yeah, that was a great. Yep. Jeremy Morin apparently wore it for a game in 2013. Sammy Paulson wore it. Troy Brower wore it his debut.
It's one of the
Steve
3 numbers
Sullivan.
Alexei Zhamnov wore.
Yes.
26, 36, 13.
Todd White wore it.
Oh, God. The diminutive Todd
Mike
White.
Peluso wore it for one game in 1996.
Who could forget?
In 1990. Then Jocelyn Lemieux, best 26 ever. Dave Mackey. And nobody else I've ever heard of. Bob Hoffmeyer. That's a fun name. So, yeah, not a well-used number. That could work. I say go with 45. Nobody wears 45.
No. 45. Interesting. That's not a very common number.
Exactly.
Ghost Moser is back saying he can't give us another $500. Ghost.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay, man. Like, we do not expect $500 from you every day. Thank
Right.
you. You are off the hook for super chats from here on out.
I mean, YouTube won't let you do it, but my Venmo will.
Yeah, our
just
Venmo
kidding.
is that.
Just
The
kidding.
Venmo has no
Just
fees
kidding.
on it
We
at all.
love your donations, but like,
Yeah.
you are.
Don't feel obligated.
But okay.
Donate to a good cause instead.
Yes.
Give it to a charity, people that need it.
But you are. You're doing the Lord's work, and we appreciate.
By the way,
that.
we never got the. I failed in my haze last night to reveal the results of the poll.
It didn't
Should
matter
Ghost
because
give the ring.
He gave the ring, and apparently it went over well. So
All right, great.
Good for you. All right.
Wonderful. And he says he gave a homeless friend $1,000, and he's buying a better ring next week. All right, well, you know what? Keep giving that money to the homeless, man. They need it, but we appreciate the support. And look, if you want to support us and you don't have any money, we are at 249 likes. Hammer that like button for us before we go.
Yes, we need one more like to show the results of the 4-star of the game.
Yeah, and to show feet.
That's on CHG.
That costs
OnlyFans.
extra.
CHG OnlyFans.
That's a $500 super chat minimum.
I'm not doing it until we get to 250.
There it is. Nope. I saw the thumbs
I'll
up.
sit here.
He will.
I watched Pete and DJ sit in silence for 10 minutes the other day. I ain't scared. There it
There
is.
it is.
All right, let's
All
go.
All right, thank God.
And I do think this was our closest 4-star ever. We did just get a little bit of separation finally. With 44% of the vote, the winner is Alex Vlasic.
Ooh, that was classic. All right.
Ryan Donato was right there with 40% of the vote.
People like their Alex Vlasic.
1 assist, +2, 3 shots, 2 block shots. I didn't get his ice time. Let me grab that real
And a
quick.
fight.
And a fight, yes. 18-27.
Beat the
which
crap
dented
out
his
of
ice
Nick.
time a
Yeah,
little bit.
beat the crap out of Nick Bukestad.
Yes, he did.
Nick Bukestad was like, "Hey, don't hit me hard," and goes, "Oh, I'm going to show you how hard I can hit you. Here's a few 5-knuckle sandwiches.
There you go. That's one.
Choke
fifth
on
one's
that
sale.
without Charlie's bacon, so they weren't very good."
Also want to shout out Dave and Catherine, who Mario and I met before the game today. Drove up from St. Louis for the game. They're podcast listeners, never in the chat. So
Yes.
we know you're listening.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thanks
It was
for
nice to
listening.
meet you.
Sorry I missed out on the meetup. I was
Pooping.
probably no. I only do that at home.
That's true.
But yeah, thanks for the support, Dave and Catherine. Thanks for everybody here.
Yeah, really.
Support. We don't get to do this without you guys listening and subscribing and becoming diehards. And you know, it's still weird to have people like say hi. I think I saw our guy Sully at the game today walking around, who brought in those awesome jerseys over. We'll have to have him again.
That was one of my favorite days.
We're going to do that again this summer, because what else are we going to talk about? So without you guys and your daily support, Jay and I, and we can say this for Mario too, and Steven, we wouldn't be able to live out, you know, our dream jobs right here. So we're very appreciative for all the support.
Yes, we love you very much. Thank you for being here for us. And we know after wins, the shows are much better, much more populated, a lot more fun. And look, it's going to be a while, but we're going to get there where every game matters. There's going to be a lot more wins. There's going to be playoff games, and I cannot wait.
And for those of you who stuck
Yeah.
with us through all this,
Think how great
crap,
that's going to be.
It's going to be like, man, we put in the work too.
Absolutely.
We didn't, but it will feel like it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, thank y'all. We'll talk to you Tuesday post-game. Hawks and Ducks should be another fun game. Hawks looking for 2 in a row for the first time since December.
Also, shout out to the 30-plus people that subscribed during the show today. That's awesome.
30 subscribers?
Yeah.
And I told you those like spikes work. We got like 30 likes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing that.
Should we do in a go?
Why not?
All right.
Sure, all
3, 2, 1. Goodbye, like spike.
Goodbye, like Spike.
Hammer it. We
Hit
love you
Spike.
guys.
If you want to see us off the screen, hit the like button.
Yes, and tell a friend, tell your mother, tell your father, call your
Telephone.
neighbors, tell your significant other, tell your your wife and your girlfriend and your boyfriend and your husband about us, and then hammer that like button. We'll talk to you Tuesday night after Hawks and Ducks on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.